Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest on of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Shaken Coast. Playing on Team 1 as the Necrons, we've got Normie's Lover. We've got Umbra 7 Naka playing as the Adeptus Mechanicus. And we've got She-Fur 90 playing as the Dark Eldar. We've got Team 2 playing as the Death Guard, we've got Voider. We have got Ayo, whatever your name is, playing as the Sisters of Battle. And we've got Q-Eb playing as the Admech. So here we go, this is going to be an unusual match, I do believe, as everyone in this game has gone random. So whether they're playing factions that they are familiar with, or their first timing, is completely unknown, so I imagine some mischief and mayhem to be abound all the way through this game. Now I do absolutely love the positioning for the Necrons on this map, and I will tell you for why. So if you look at Shaken Coast, essentially there is a big shrubbery right in the middle, and there's long things going off majorly in the distance. In fact, that's a Relic far off in the distance, so plenty of people like to fight over here, but quite a lot of the times you will find on a map like this, there'll be lots of fighting going on in the centre, and some cheeky so-and-sos may send some aircraft or some teleporting troops roundabouts here to smash people up. Now, if you've got your whole army over here and fighting away, then your base is quite vulnerable. But the thing about Necrons is that they're able to teleport all their infantry around. So if the Necrons are fighting over here, they see some argy-bargy happening on in their base, they teleport back home. So this is a remarkably good positioning from Normie's Lover, straight from the get-go. But yeah, not much to say at the early game. We do have the Dark Eldar on the front lines, which is probably not where they want to be, not for the early game at the very least. Although, mind you, similar kind of situation for the Admech, except for that they've got these remarkably strong STC searches that can be upgraded with these AoE zappy bits. So anyone trying to assault their base will be screwed, essentially. And what have we got? We've got the Sisters, who aren't going to be amazing. I mean, if they go for Seraphins, which I don't think they are, they're going to go for Canoness and a more standard, more relaxed kind of opening for these ladies. And the Death Guard, low and slow, that's their tempo. But if you've gone for any zombies, you are going to go for some plague zombie hordes. So maybe send a scouting unit over for some vision, and then throw down a whole bunch of the undead to cause some mischief and mayhem towards the Dark Eldar. We've got their Archon out, going for a couple of Incubi, ready to engage people in close combat as they fancy, with a couple of warriors off in the distance to provide some firing support. If they can get their shredder rifles, then any kind of infantry will fall relatively quickly. Battle is joined. Nurgle cultists will not be doing much against the Archon, but here come the plague-ridden zombies. In fact, that's one squad. Is that two whole squads? So the Dark Eldar will not be wanting to engage in close combat with these guys, as they will do damage over time with each slap. There's some high pass bits coming over. Also going for triple flamers as well. Well, flamers won't do any morale damage to the zombies, as zombies don't have any morale. But AoE damage always good against slow-moving infantry and such. And whole battle being engaged in the first 5 minutes. Also got the Necron Lord coming in with his Staff of Light. Tarantula turret been popped down by Umbra 7 Naka, as the Magus Explorer tries to keep her distance. And yeah, a lot of range support will send those plague zombies back to the grave from whence they came. Not looking like they were trying to get back up. Do you have the ability to get back up after you die? I mean, looks like it, unless that was kind of like a jump scare that happens. There we go, so Team 1, straight from the get-go, they've got the forces smack bang in the middle. Voider is attempting to capture a strategic point, but these guys keep playing aggressive. They've either got a choice of consolidating their hold in the centre, or maybe trying to move over and capturing this one extra relic, as each team has only got one natural relic on their sides. Sisters have gone for their one over on the right. Access to a lot of different angels, depending on what they fancy. They can either go for the standard vanilla one, which is just one that not teleports, but jumps around with her wings and does a fair bit of damage in close combat. You've also got other kinds of angels that do other bits and bobs. You're playing in a more supporting role, or playing in a more angry kind of role. I think I'm either getting this confused with Unification or Ultimate Apocalypse, but I do know that there is one living saint that kind of damages the morale of allies nearby, but does a cracking amount of damage. But, you know, there's a lot of mods going on, so I could be making some mistakes. And, oh, while it's on my mind, just for those who are thinking about, oh, Miss Landshark, this week you've done more or less exclusively Soulstorm games. What's the vibe with that? Essentially, I've been on holiday for the past week. It's been half-term holiday from my day job, as I work in a school. And I thought, right, well, the easiest thing to do is just throw out a load of Soulstorm games and catch up on sleep, and that's what I've been doing. So it's not like I'm avoiding Unification or the other mods and such. It's just easier, man. Just easier, and I wanted to, you know, do things like, you know, paint stuff. But speaking of painting Warhammer, bottom right hand side, oh, hey, by gum, it's Play Support sponsoring the channel once again. If you want to avoid painting and play more games and such, they are definitely the boys and girls for professional painting, professional printing, whatever your kind of vibes are, go check them out, links in the description. Here we are seeing a trench turret once again from Umbra 7 Naka. Quite expensive are those when summoned forth from the Mega Exploiter, but definitely doing the damage as the novitiates are in the negative cover, so will die pretty quickly, and not enough firepower really being brought forward. Plague Lord, quite a tanky son, sir, but up against all this damage, will die pretty darn quickly. Unlimited power, he screams, as he gets beaten back. A bit incongruous with what was going on there, but he's a positive thinker. He's manifesting the way forward. Tier 2 on the way for Q-Eb, as the novitiates start popping some shots off. Let's have a quick look at the early game economies. 45% and 107, 99 and 12, and 99 and 12 compared to 96 and 32. Oh, right, I see. You've got shared economy on the go. Okay. So, if you're unfamiliar with how shared economy works, normally the only economy that comes in for you is basically, obviously, based on your strategic points and your plasma generator count. Whereas for these guys, it's like, oh, well, everyone... I'm not quite sure on the math, but essentially it calculates how much money everyone has and then works out on average. Or maybe it adds up all of everyone's total economy and then spreads out evenly between everyone. That might be it. Either way, it's something like that. Queb now going for a couple of, well, for a trench of his own. It seems to be out of range ever so slightly, which is unfortunate. Plague Marines are in the middle. They've got their Plague Spewers, killing all those Admech boys. Dark Eldar scaring away the Sisters of Battle. We'll have to turn around and sort out the Death Guard if they want to keep the STC Searcher on their side. Death Guard now having to take these guys on. Plague Lord adding some health regen to all of his lads. And it seems that Team 2 have now finally got into a position where they've got a foothold in the centre, which is really important. As you can see, the middle bit is just surrounded by negative cover, so having a couple of islands that you can stand on, being backed up by a listening post with some shooty bits on, definitely do add to your ability to assault and defend in the centre over here. I'm seeing a couple of Billah Scabs come over to the northern side, but they will see that Q-Web has already got that STC Searcher up and at him, and the Billah Scabs aren't going to do much as they do no damage. A healthy amount of Necron Warriors there, and they are looking for some Ghost Reapers, which functionally act as a... oh, how does one say it? As a shotgun. Someone coming nearby will get knocked over, but there is no melee squads for them to really capitalise on. Death Guard will sometimes go for Assault Plague Marines in a 1v1 scenario, but in a team match, I don't think that is the way forward for them. Moving over to the critical location in the centre, although they do not have the countdown victories on. Oh dear, just slow as you like, but even slower when moving through the river. So the Necron's able to kill a fair few of their models, but then maybe overextending, not quite using all their forces here. Also got an assault coming down on the southern side, with the Sisters of Battle moving forward. Plenty of Inferno pistols, which crack through the armour of infantry. Remarkably well, extremely accurate as well. Got a scared squad, but they're going to go for a handful of Dark Lancers. Not sure why at the moment, as there are no vehicles for them to go for. It's kind of like the Celestians, where you'll see some players go for a lot of their anti-vehicle upgrades, which you don't really need to do until you see vehicles. We've got a flanking Hellstalker. Oh, you are the ones that throw down artillery every now and then, I do believe. There's two stalkers. Can't quite remember who does what. It's been a while since I've seen an AdMech play. Now we're getting two in one game. They'll run forward, eating the faces of the Necrons here, as the AdMech fall back. The Death Guard still holding on to the island, and the sisters are setting on fire the Magus Explorator and set aflame. Now the Archon and a couple of Mandrakes have been blinded by the Canonesses' blinding light ability. Now got a couple of scared squads. They're spotting the Hellstalker coming through the ground. Those Dark Lances now will do a fair bit of damage to them. Will reposition themselves as the Hellstalker just kind of stands there. A bit confused at what to do with life. But while Team 1 had the lion's share of map control in the centre, they've now lost it to Team 2. Necron Lord throwing down a John Cena beam. Got Locust Heavy Destroyer, which might be able to steal a Hellstalker or two. Lord has gone down. Has the Lord gone down? All these things? I don't think you have. Hold on. Let me see if I can find... No, you haven't. You survived. By the skin on your chinny chin. It's too many Death Guard for these guys to defend solo. That we'll need the Dark Eldar and such to provide some sort of support. Necron Lord has finally gone down. Well, if they can hold this and force sisters in the river, that might help them. Over on the northern side, the Necrons are capturing the northern bits, although spending a lot of money on turrets. Laying of hands upon the Celestians to keep them alive. Necron warriors are slowly but surely going down as more ladies come in to bolster their ranks. I'm not sure if the Dark Eldar... Yeah, right, okay, they're going to go for a couple of Witch squads. I was going to say, it'd be unusual if the Dark Eldar decided to go for a majority ranged unit composition. They've got the AdMech and the Necrons that can provide that for them. In a team kind of game, you want to basically make it complementary. Ooh, a beautiful smite. Didn't really kill the Praetorians all that much. They've lost their Wi-Fi. That's the problem, so they're just going to stand there until someone can reconnect them. The warriors trying to circumvent the sides, but I don't think they will survive for very long. That's some death. The death marks are exactly what you want. Massive infantry. These guys will kill them pretty damn quickly. They're extremely fragile themselves. Here comes the Assault High Pacifists inside the Dark Eldar base. We'll see if we can get both engagements on the screen. The Death Guard being supported by the High Pacifists, making their way on into the base of the Dark Eldar. Queb also throwing up a Hellstalker up inside the base, but the what you called the Scourges are breaking down his armour relatively quickly, all things considered, but will be slapped in the face. Can be positioned over their wings if they choose to. Necrons now amassing. Sisters waxing and waning. Couldn't really do with probably coming back over. Now supporting the main assault. Well, I can see what they're trying to basically hold back this entire fighting force while the Death Guard make some inroads in the Dark Eldar side of things. But doesn't seem that they've succeeded in doing the damage. No, listening posts have even been taken down. And the Relic has not been captured, interestingly enough. I mean, it's a mixed decision, really. Do you go in and try and do the economic damage and maybe also kill a few of their armies, or do you hold fast and hold true and gain a defensive foothold in the centre, but give your opponent time to rebuild their armies? It's a real catch-22. There's no real right answer in this. Just depends on what you fancy. And still, the assault continues. Got a Desecrator coming in. There are no Immortals at the moment. Death Marks doing 0 damage. We do... Oh, have you gone for a really quick Restore Monolith? You have indeed. So this is a substantial Necron fighting force. Yeah, pop them in the centre. They'll be able to reinforce their troops from that Restore Monolith, no problems. Still got Hellstalker inside the Dark Eldar base. Couldn't really do with sorting that out. Here comes an Archon, but does he really want to be doing much against him? About to lose the Wi-Fi on the... Oh, no, mind you just killed him. Alright, well done. Good man. Some Plague Marines off on their own. The Deathmark's been the ultimate counter to them. Yeah, okay, fair enough. They're quite slow both sides, but the Deathmarks can reposition themselves, whereas the Death Guard cannot. Let's think of some Praetorians charging on in. And we want to avoid seeing this happen, but quite a lot of times you'll see if a team is on the back foot, they'll just start sending in individual troops at a time, which is not advantageous really. You kind of want to have them, how would I describe this? So if you funnel one troop in at a time, they'll all eventually die because you're going up against army versus one unit. So you kind of want to hold back a bit. Yeah, okay, you'll lose ground, but you'll be able to build up a big enough army to maybe regain that lost ground, which we are not seeing from Team 2 at the moment. They're just throwing in very expensive units, one at a time. Got some flying drones, which are infiltrated, doing a little bit of damage to Team 1. That is not enough damage. Got the towering towers of the STC searchers. Although QEB has built his research STC search on the front lines rather than the back lines, which is probably where you want it to be. We've also got now Doomstaff. Yeah, the Necron's really popping off here. If you don't deal damage to the Necron economy, then they will just basically build up all day long. And their late game is just stupidly good. You could argue that this is basically a relic unit in its own right, really. Not so much in the damage output, but just, I think flying relic units have just got the advantage of not being like a slow, lumbering kind of thing. They've got a bit of maneuverability to them. But no, that's just a regular unit, baby. I think you need a critical look. Do you need a critical location? A relic? Maybe, I don't know. Either way, he's got a relic anyway, so it's on the field now, regardless. Necronord going to be rebuilt. Are you going to go for a... No, probably not a ancient pyramid, because you will need a critical location to get your special Necron Lords out. But the trench turret has been killed. And now Team 2 are just sitting back pretty. We've got the Shrines of the Living Saint. You do have the Relic as well, so you could get a Living Saint of your wanting and liking. Of a Cesspit and a Dark Apotheosis research, which, if I'm not mistaken, but we will read it just in case, you transform the Demon Prince of Nurgle, or, yeah, okay, so you can basically get your Demon Prince out, which you would expect the Nurgle Demon Prince to be, you know, quite a substantial feature, able to stand in the centre and take a lot of damage, but it's not actually that much in the way of defense. It's got more of a supporting role to play in the form of being able to, you know, just be a general nuisance, debuffing people around him. But still thematic. Oh dear, the Plague Havocs trying to go home. Just go home the long way, like these dudes. Unless that's just a pathing issue that's happened, which, fair enough, that is a thing that does happen quite often. But one Plague Havoc squad being wiped. Hellstalker attempting to save them. Not quite getting the disruption in they wanted to. Morale being broken on the Mega Exploiter and the Assault High Pass Pists. Yeah, the Hellstalker is a real nuisance. You kill it and sometimes it will come back. Now the Monolith teleporting in. A little bit close for comfort if you ask me. The assault now begins in earnest. Here comes quite a sizable Sisters Fighting force there. And with the sheer amount of lessons that they have, that Restore Monolith teleporting in the front lines might actually be their own doom here. As they can't escape very easily. Got a stun going off from the Archon. On the Necromonolith to get a fair bit of damage done in. We've got a fake Monolith inside the base, or in the way of the base of the Admech. It'll be a nuisance to get around. And there were Sisters Battle. Oh, but you just decided to completely ignore the battle going on. And you're going to go for the Necron side of things. You've got the botfly inside breaking some stuff. Do the Necrons want to teleport back home and defend half in home? I don't really know at the moment. I mean, they've got their army, and no matter what base damage is done, the Restored Monolith is alive. So they can't really go and just basically kill them. No base train happening when the base is knocking on your door. But Demon Prince and Nurgle surrounded by Necrons here. They've got that wonderful Canoptic Spider as well. So he's going to go down without much of a fight. Fake Monolith is dead. Scorpet Destroyers attempting to charge on in. We now have got the Leman Russ King pattern, which is just a stupidly good tank. And also the Living Saint Anais. I always pronounce that as Anus. That is definitely not a name. Here she comes. Trying to do what she can, but a little bit of a difficulty getting off that attack animation. Throws out a big fiery triangle, but goes down remarkably quickly. Combat stimulant's been placed on all these guys as well. But she comes back once again. Fury and Fire for another pass at these lads. King pattern. Tanks are killing everything inside the base at the moment. Chimera packs fighting amongst themselves with no morale. Also, Plague Marines are in here helping defend. So, a remarkably good assault from Team 1, but they've also now basically lost the Necron. I mean, Necron economy, have you rebuilt over here? I was rebuilt over here, fair enough. They've got plenty saved up as well. And make them very vulnerable to a base trade, as they've only got one production building. I suppose they've got the STC sections that build up the little drones and such. But still, you don't want to lose your machine reliquary. Celestian squad with a mighty... What are you? You are a... Who's the solo lady? Oh, you are Abyss Morven Val. Lady in strong armour. Tall as you like. Causing some mischief over here. Now the Admech for QEB. That's got the Archmagos Prime. And it seems that they are attempting a push out. Very difficult with these multiple firing lines of Necrons. Archmagos goes down. Canoptic Spider has been shot at there. There's no more recycling from those perspectives. And a bit of a stalemate as the Sisters' threat is finally dealt with. Though she is just soloing everything at the moment. What a mighty model indeed. Not sure what's going on. Is that the power pack? Is that why she's got this? Or is she just a hunchback? Something like that. And why she's doing what she can. It's not much. Especially when you're up against two of the best Leman Russ tanks. They're either the best, if not one of the best tanks you can get in Tier 3 across the factions once they've got all their upgrades and such. And is it the Malkador from the Deathcore Krieg? There's probably a tier list video that you could do that I'm not going to. That's an idea for any of you guys that fancy doing your own YouTube channel. I know that Demi-Lich is doing quite a good few amount of videos on how to play and on little nitty-gritty things and such. Spell tells you pronounce it. Definitely recommend that looking through on the YouTubes. Got a Plague Whirlwind throwing things out and about. Got the Death Shroud Terminus. And, right, Death Shroud Terminus, one of the coolest models going. But I think they're just a useless unit. Just because they spend so long trying to get into combat, they always die. And once they do get into combat, the opposing player then just kind of like walks away. So I don't know. They definitely need some sort of ability where they can root people for a significant amount of time let them get into close combat or something. Because I've never seen them being useful in any degree whatsoever. That's my recommendation, Unification mods. That's my recommendation indeed. Living Saint back out with their white, golden, shining wings. And it seems like the Necron's just soloing the defense here. A lot of fire going towards that singular Necron Lord. He goes down. And the Restore Monolith attempting to escape. The Celestians now armed with all the anti-vehicle weapons they could possibly want or need. That'll break down that Restore Monolith with alarming speed if it doesn't get out of there, but it's just moving a little bit further forward. Teleport it out of there, Normies Lover. You don't want that going down. Not at this stage of the game. Light Lord Terminators, a more ranged orientated squad. They've got all their little weapon upgrades. A smite rack bang in the middle of things, I think. There's so many exploding bits going on. Archon is in there somewhere. You've got the Warp Beasts. Got some Trueborn as well. Remarkable damage, but that Plague Whirlwind knocking them out and about. And there was an army stood here. But the Monolith is dead. Warriors are falling back. It seems that Team 2, after being forced inside the base for so long, are now getting back. Getting a bit of revenge. And if there was a time to attack, now is probably the time. Just to reclaim some of the centre. Maybe even going for some of this northern stuff, but... good lord. Necron's just starting to own the entire map here. So slow push out. Everyone's falling back. We've now got some drones inside the base of the Drukhari. They've taken down a couple of listing posts. So our economy will be in tatters at the moment. Do you have much saved up there? Oh, you've got a fair bit saved up actually, so it won't be the end of the world for you. But ideally you don't want your base being knocked around, and you don't have much green money saved up, so don't you'll be able to get much in the way of higher class vehicles or units. I've got the STC searcher being taken offline. And this will also grant Team 2 an extra relic as well. Now who's got the... so the Necrons have got the relic on the northern side. Admech has got the one on the left-hand side, so are you going to go for one of those Knight Paladin thingy-me-doodads? I'd highly recommend it. If you've got the options for it.
Mine is the right to lead.
Oh, the Death Guard making the slow way on over. And what a beautiful combination of units. The Death Guard providing a lot of artillery support and a heavy infantry front line. Sisters with their anti-vehicle. And the Admech with a good few Lehman Russes. Definitely using their factions units in complement of each other, whereas it just seems like the Necrons are holding the majority of the front line for Team 1. Yeah, okay, they've got the same kind of bag with the Admech and their Lehman Russes, but Dark Eldar, where are you at the moment? Oh right, you've lost your production buildings because no one's killing these. Get some infiltration detection, boys. That's what you need. Be really careful against the Admech, as they are capable of getting those back doors in through their aircraft much more efficiently than a lot of other factions can do. And Plague Lord can't... good lord, I don't know if he's loud for you in the recording, but he's incredibly loud for me. Yeah, Necros, what are you planning on doing here? You've got no chances. I mean, if you bring some Builder Scarabs over, you'll be able to spot them. I suppose you were rebuilding and repairing that Restore Monolith, which is now back online at the moment. Living Saint leading the charge. Big blast of fire. There's a Paragon kill team. Uses all their Stormbolt as possible. Unless Dark Elves rebuilt their things elsewhere. I don't think you have. No, you haven't. A couple of Taloses, which I can't see how they're going to fix the situation. It's all going to come down to the flanking force of Necrons and the Cataphract class robots. Got a tall order to deal with. Oh, here comes also a Knight Paladin as well. Running down the field. I imagine if you take out the artillery, I'll reduce the DPS on the Death Guard quite considerably. Although just standing there by engaging with his little gun, he's got two chainswords. I want to engage him in ranged combat stance, although, to be fair there, he's probably air moved him down this way. There we are, it's going to go for the Plasma Blast Gun. Which are, you know, they're not cheap weapon upgrades. These blast guns. 200 blue and 200 green. Two relics. Coming up the flanks. Plenty of Plague Havocs there. Not doing as much damage as you would expect against a Storm Monolith. A couple of Taloses, and how are things going on over here? Looks like the Dark Eldar are about to say goodnight. It's very unfortunate. There we go, there. Sent to the sin bin. Yeah, once they lost their front lines and their production buildings due to the little infiltrated drone flanking maneuver. You can have all the money that you want, but if you don't have the production buildings, you're absolutely shafted. Imagine every time a torture slave was built up, the drones just killed them. That's what I assume has happened. Monolith has gone down. The Knight Paladin soon to follow. We've also got the Angel inside the Admech base as well. And also, what are you? Oh no, you're the same thing. Just oh, it's because my camera's sideways. Right, fair enough. Wondering why things looking a bit weird from that perspective then. Knight Paladin, you're dead. Although holding that line for a very long time, it's got to be said. Is there a way for these guys to come back? I mean, the Necrons do have a stupid amount of base spread across the map. Already rebuilt their Necron monolith. That would be a 1 against 3. Is that doable? Still got a little bit of game left. And we've seen crazy things happen in a Dawn of War game. Cataphracts robots chasing, well, attempting to break down an opposing Admech fighting force. We've also got this lady just standing around, throwing in some blinding lights. It's not looking good. Such a strong game from Team 1 as well. They were doing really, really good when they had that mass of Necron warriors bolstered by the Hecatari witches and their combat stimulants. Got some skull swarms, which, I mean, they don't do much, in all honesty, but they're there. Any kind of damage is good damage. There's just too much to deal with. What's going on over here? We've got the... oh, we've got a flanking Necron force. The Lich Guard, quite tanky individuals. Trying to capture the critical location in the centre. Would it be Imhotep the Stormlord that they would go for? If they're able... because, I mean, if there was a chance for them to win, just from like a solo Necron point of view, Imhotep Stormlord comes out. If he's able to get a really good storm on everyone in the centre, potential to wipe an army or at least do significant damage to them, finish them off and then just kind of push on, push on. Maybe have a couple of Canoptic Spiders to constantly reinforce and recycle the fighting Necrons. That's the only way I can see them winning at this point. A secondary machine reliquary has been spotted. Will be set on fire. Necrons over here. Attempting to do what they can. Going to go around the long way. And there's just a lot of base to really kill. Yeah. Sad times in the pipelines. Well, the scavs, can they capture it? It'd be a huge boon if they can replace their Necron Lord with a fancy Necron Lord from there. Oh, have you already done it? Oh, you've got him. There we go. That's Imitate Stormlord. Right, there's a chance. The chance, boys and girls. If they just keep on, keeping on. They've got the Ghost Arcs. Well, that could be used as a recycling force. The Sisters have engaged the base at the moment there. Ancient Pyramid, though, that's useless now. They've already got what they needed from it. Also building up a subspace spire. Bit of alliteration there for you. So, Scorpec Heavy Destroyer wouldn't go amiss. If they've captured that critical location, they have not. They've lost it now. Oh right, okay, well. Plague Feral Titan. And with double Turbo Laser Destructors. Which Turbo Laser is just the most 1980s name you could possibly give for a weapon. Yeah, there was a chance, but it's looking slimmer by the moment. But where is the Stormlord? Let's have a look at you. You're over here, you're right bang in the middle of things. You're getting involved. We also have a significant amount of Death Guard. Slicing up the Restore Monolith. Oh, I see what he's going to do. He's going to attempt to go here and then teleport this way. And if that could be done, then the Necrons could teleport their entire fighting force down here as well. Oh, can he do it? Just let him have this. Oh, it goes down. Nah, and that is probably going to be all she wrote. Yeah, not much of an army left anymore. Imotech. He's solo with his Lich Guard. But there you go, night-night, and that is the game. What an exciting game that was. I do appreciate that maybe the build orders and the things that people went for were a little bit unusual in the grand scheme of things, but like we say, it was an all-random game, sir, and I think that playing a faction for the first time quite a lot of times is extremely difficult, but in a team game, definitely is a little bit more forgiving, and everyone just getting all the good stuff out towards the end. Very nice stuff. So there we go. So cheers to QWeb sending that game in, and cheers to PlaySport for sponsoring the channel. And if you want to help the channel out, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. All the links will be in the description below. That's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.